So when I was a child, for some reason, I was always like a young adult, super creative. I used to draw, and I would these drawings I would have. I would put price tags on them and make my uncles and aunties buy them from me. So I was really a fun child, but not a typical child. And I was kind of protected a lot early on. So looking back and thinking about how my mom trained me and taught me, it did prep me for where I am now. And looking back, I've been able to dissect my life, and I know I was being bred for something way more. As a child, when I think back to like what did I want, I don't know what I wanted. At the time, I just wanted peace, and it was never peaceful. My mom and dad's relationship, they were always off and on. He'd move out, they'd get in big fights all the time. He'd go get an apartment somewhere, wherever he would go stay. Um, it was just chaotic. It was so much fighting, so much arguments in that household growing up. It was toxic. Never did my dad hit my mom, but the level of arguments was just ridiculous, man. My dad was gone, and he would just come back and terrorize us, like breaking in the house, destroying my mom's stuff. I remember one time I woke up in the middle of the night, caught him breaking in the house, and he just picked me up. I'm like 11 years old, and he threw me. I just lost consciousness for a second. Like he was on a rampage. My mom stayed with my dad damn near 20 years, and it was detrimental to her. It was tearing her up, and you were stuck within this. You get stuck in cycles, and they were in this cycle of verbal and mental abuse until you just can't take anymore. So they finally made that total split, probably close to me being 12 years old. I remember one day, like my mom was gone. She was gone a lot at this point. Um, I remember like walking across the street to call my dad. I had his number, and we had no food, and I reached out to him like, could you send us some money for some food? And at that point, he had told me, just pretend I'm not your dad. I'm not your dad anymore. That's what he said to me, and hung up. That will always stick in my head when he said that shit to me. And I'm like, okay. I felt like I had to jump into position at this point. And during this time, like, I'm at school just becoming a terrorist at school. This is prime time, real early 90s, where gangbanging is really prevalent. And that was my outreach at that point. Like, okay, it was the coolest thing in the world to be a gang member. And at my school, in a heavily involved gang area, Skyline, it was just this what it was. Everybody, you were some kind of way affiliated with being a gang member. Now looking back, I know I was just rebelling against my at-home situation that was messed up. And I would just take my inside feelings out at school. And so that's when pretty much the beginning of my criminal activity started happening early on at 12 years old. When I started selling weed, the feeling I had from doing it was like it was felt good. It felt like good for multiple reasons. Good that I was making money, and I felt cool. I felt like I was doing something, like I'm hearing rap songs, selling. I was getting my own money. People made you feel cool because you had the weed. So I felt cool. I can't lie. It was a good feeling all the way around. Making your own money. At this point in time, and just in the urban culture, it was kind of a shift that was already starting to happen. and it was like a more of a pretty boy, preppy look, a thing going on. One day we came home and seen this documentary on HBO called Pimps Up, Hoes Down. Sat down high watching this documentary, watching at the time seeing these dudes that looked like prosperous black men with prostitutes. Everybody looked happy, they were getting money, and it was like we finally had seen some something that was attainable to us. You would think maybe it was just us and our little crew, but this wave had went across San Diego in urban communities of pimping. Not just in San Diego, but across the United States. It was like a new epidemic now of pimping and prostitution. And at least 60% of the people, my peer group, had merged into this lifestyle. And by 17 years old, we were pimping. So much was put on me, right, that I had to experience and see. And now, later on in life, I realized I had to go through those different experiences in different states to learn. I was going to crash course on what the prison industrial complex was like, what it was like to be in these situations. So yeah, I did 32 months in federal prison. The biggest stretch of my time, I was in Oregon, just away from my family, didn't see anybody. The only person that was really holding me down and taking care of me was one of my best friends that from Playgirls Fantasy, from the clique, Richard Wilson. Fantastic is what they called him. That was his pimp name. And so he was sending me money. He was making sure I was okay. I remember I just finished working out, and I hear over the intercom, they're like, Armand, come to the chaplain's office. And I hear it, I'm like, come to the chaplain's office? I've never heard my name over the intercom, nothing, so it was just a shocker even that happening. So I go to the chaplain's office, I walk in, and dude's like at his desk, and he's like, call your mom, your brother died. Like, what? What you say? He said, call your mom, your brother died. Cold as a motherfucker, like no love, no nothing in this dude's face. So I pick up the phone, I call my mom, and my mom's just like bawling, crying. So at this point, I know something fucked up happened. And she's like, Armand Richards dead. And it, like, that shit, there's no way to describe that feeling. No way to this day. I've had years to think and feel. There's no way to describe that feeling that I felt that day. Fuck. Hey, one of the last conversations we had on the phone, he had told me, he's like, I can't wait till you get home, Armand. Like, he said, these dudes, none of them think like you, man. Like, none of them, nobody thinks like you, bro. I need you home. And one in Vegas, Demetrius. So you got Roy on Mallard, you got Demetrius in Vegas, doing good, taking care of his kids, father, and you got my brother Chris with the dreads. The rest of the homies is dead. Out of 8 of us, they all gone. Everybody gone. Everybody killed, or only one died of an overdose. Everybody else is gone. So, like how I lost him and William within 45 days apart, they died. 60 days later, my little cousin gets murdered in Sacramento. 2017 going to 18 was probably one of the roughest blocks in my life right there. You feel me? But we were already paving great futures had already started in 2012. So we was already on this mission. We was already on this mission of helping, and so it's like the biggest test of my fucking life was right there. But I just can't stop, bro. I can't stop right now. You feel me? So I gotta utilize. I still ain't got over my fucking brother, bro. I still ain't got over that shit. It's like I feel I'm almost scared. Like if I stop right now, if I stop working at all, I'm gonna feel this shit. I can't mourn. I have yet to mourn my homies, man. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. So that's why I work so hard, and I don't do nothing. I just work. I don't sleep. I just work so I can help save as many people as I can. I mean, as many people as I can help. I mean, I'm trying to help them so they don't fuck up and be here. Too many people is here. Too many for nothing. I mean, kids that killed my brother, they all got 100 years. They're dead too. Just dead for no reason, homie. But how many more Richards and Kennys is filling up this graveyard right now? You feel me? That shouldn't be. Kenny got kids. Richard didn't have no kids. Kenny got kids out here right now. He got a baby son. He gonna grow up with no dad. Probably in the same fucking cycle my dude is. You feel me? Man, so that's... Wanna know why I work, why I do this? This is why I do this shit. That's why I do this shit right here, homie.